In many ways, the next 5 years were quite stagnant compared to what was to come. In 1979, the Transmigration Resettlement Program started in earnest. This was a program to send primarily Javanese outside of Java and to depopulate Java a little. It had some poor consequences, and I'll speak more about this in the next program. In 1980, a petition of 50 intellectuals and ex-generals gave a petition to Parliament telling of their dislike of how Suharto was running the country. This would have consequences for all 50 and their families. In 81, Komodo became a national park, and in 82, Golkar won an overwhelming majority, as they were to do throughout the Suharto era. In 83, there was a Tanjung Priok massacre, and I'll talk more in depth in a moment about that. And finally, in 1983, this came out, the Karte Pay, the national identity. And one thing that is on the national identity that one could argue shouldn't be is your agama, your religion, because of course that's a very personal thing. Anyway, it's on here, my religion, as with all Indonesians. So during the next 5 years of Suharto's rule, Indonesia strengthens its ties to Western-backed economic models. Foreign investment, export-orientated industries flourished. Again, the World Bank, the IMF were involved heavily. Infrastructure, again, gained, however, much more in the cities than in rural areas. As I stated, the petition signed by 50 very important people in Indonesia didn't go well for Suharto. He was angry. He would put travel bans on these people, including Nasution. That was the general that supported Suharto for leadership in '67. Not only were the travel bans, they were not allowed to be quoted in newspapers and were pretty much not allowed bank loans. As stated before, Suharto could be very ruthless. Another time, in the Tanjung Priok riots, over 100 people were massacred. Two major generals were in play at the time, Mordani and Sutrisno, and generally they opened fire on the crowds. They were demonstrating against, I think there were 4 clerics held by the military in their command post. So about 2,000 people led a march to require access. They weren't given it, they were shot in cold blood. Again, the West generally turned a blind eye. Suharto and Indonesia were far too important to rock the boat. Also, throughout the 80s, there were mysterious killings. In fact, some of the expats I spoke to, the early birds from the 70s, would relate to their driving along and there'd be a body here or a body there. Now, a lot of these people were prey men, which is thugs. However, obviously, it's the military doing the killing, and I'm sure a lot of innocent people were also killed. So it was a time where you had to be careful what you said and who you said it to, and how you acted. Some of the expats I know were happy to lose these thugs, for example, clean the streets. Still, it was illegal. What about human rights? There was no sentencing, it was just bye. In the next 5 years, though, things would be bullet train speed, and the next 5 even faster, and the next 5 even faster. And of course, another thing, I come on the scene in '86, and I can give my knowledge of what I remember of Suharto and how his cabinet worked. So, lots to look forward to. I hope you're enjoying the series. Sorry it's a short one, and I'll see you next week.